Hey guys, Jeremy here at My Way MFG. This video is going to be a lot different, or at least I think a lot different than most of my other videos for several reasons. One is I've had a GoPro camera sitting in a drawer my granddaughter got me about 2.5 years ago to do these YouTube videos with, but I never knew how to use it. So I was wanting to take a ride on the motorcycle and film it for a YouTube video, and I thought that GoPro camera would be the best option for that rather than trying to do it with a cell phone I didn't think would work so well. All the videos I've ever made have been off my cell phone, and the cell phone's got a pretty good camera on it. It's an iPhone 13. It's kind of an old one, but pretty good camera. But anyway, this is a better camera. So I got a mount for it. I strapped it on my head and I took off. And then after I got all the footage filmed, I figured out how to use it. So now that I know, probably be a lot more use of the GoPro camera, and my videos might be clear. And that GoPro, I noticed, has an awesome microphone on it. The motorcycle sounds were real good. And when I was editing the video, I had on a pair of the the Bluetooth earphones. And man, it was like stereo sound. The motorcycles, me and my buddy's Triumph, they sounded great. It was in the video, it was like you were actually there if you had the earphones on. So if any of you guys are going to be watching this video, have any of those headphones or earbuds, put them in, because the vintage motorcycle noises are fantastic. But anyway, another thing about the video that makes it a little different, there's not very much talking in it. I talk at the beginning, a little bit in the middle when Dan and I are on the bridge, and then a little bit at the end. But it's a long video, and it's mostly just nice scenery of the countryside. It was a beautiful day with beautiful blue skies and hay fields and cornfields and rivers, and just a lot of nice scenery in the video. And going down the country roads. It's about an hour long. It's a very long video, but I decided not to edit any of it out. So if you guys want to watch the whole thing, watch the whole thing. If you want to fast forward through it, do that. And if you don't want to watch it at all, don't watch it at all. But anyway, here it is. I hope you enjoy. And for all of you guys that think I talk too much in the videos, this video is for you. I don't say much. Anyway, let's roll. Well guys, here's where it's about to happen. I got a GoPro camera strapped on my head. I've never used this thing before. We're gonna go for a bike ride. It ought to be really clear, good footage. Every video that I have ever made has been filmed off my cell phone. But if I can figure out how to get this footage off this camera onto YouTube, Dan's on his way up on his Triumph. We're gonna go for a bike ride. And I know I look ridiculous, but sometimes you just have to look ridiculous. You know, what are you laughing at? You laughing at me, bub?
I'm gonna say so, yeah, a little red light came on.
Is there like a countdown number there? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a count up number though.
Counting up. Should be on then. This has got like a panoramic setting or a standard. You think I'll leave it in standard?
I don't know, whatever you think. I'm not a hidden camera type of expert.
I'm not either. I took a little short ride out to the cemetery bridge and back, and I had it on standard. Mm-hmm. I think it was pretty good. I had it tipped down a little bit too much though, and it was filming the road. It kind of made you dizzy.
Yeah.
So I tipped it a little.
Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Where you want to go? Maybe over to Bridgeport, and kind of you can...
Yeah, that sounds fine. You got this back together, huh?
Yeah, for now. We'll see how many parts we lose. You'll have maybe a video record if I lose more, so we can find them if they fall off, perhaps.
Well, I don't think I've lost any yet. But
You got the fancy electric start on your fancy Harley, where
I do.
I got the kick start, because the good engineers of Triumph are confident in the easy starting capabilities of their machines. They didn't feel the need to put an electric starter on there.
But yeah, I'll follow you and
Sure.
shit, I left my gas on. Yeah, dripping a little bit.
Disaster right there.
Ah, there's still some in there. Maybe it'll evaporate.
Oh, great. Now mine ain't gonna start, Jeremy. Give her a little shot of gas. After I bragged up Triumphs, and there's no need to have a starter.
house I grew up in. I don't know if you'll be able to get any audio off of this. Still losing oil.
It'll eventually lose enough.
You would think.
It won't lose anymore. And then you'll know you need to add some. See how much I lose.
That's why you don't want a coffee cup that says Triumph or BSA or sportster and drip all over your shirt.
Yeah, it would. And it's better than a dipstick when you see the oil running out of them.
Right?
Now where's the... We gotta find it.
I think it's up here. Everybody's bought these kayaks. My kids have all bought them. There's just kayaks on the river all the time. They started selling them like, everywhere. Those cheap kayaks.
Mm-hmm. I thought about getting one actually myself. I got a canoe. How to get it out.
Yeah, I got a canoe too.
Seems awfully hot out though.
I didn't want to do anything last week or really the week before. Wasn't it here?
Oh man, did they put cement patch over it?
I always have a hard time finding it.
I do too.
I thought it was right there where you're standing.
I thought it was down that way further, but I could be so mixed up. I wonder if they didn't patch over it.
Was this it right here at one time? No.
I can't remember, was it on the edge or was it over further? I guess you can narrate the story on it. If we find it, we find it.
Yeah, when they was building this bridge, I was a kid and I rode a dirt bike down here and come down and wrote my name in the wet concrete. That would have been back in like 1984. And the superintendent, I guess it would have been, that was running the job down here, he came and found me at my house and told me I better not do that again.
Well, the cement's dated 1983, so it must have been...
Might have been 83.
83, and you got to tell everybody what you drew.
Yeah, Cool Coyote was a thing I used to draw back then.
JCCC, Jeremy Corson, Cool Coyote.
Yeah. Wait, it sure seems gone, doesn't it? Wasn't on this side, was it?
No, it was on this side, I'm sure.
I really thought it was up here. Well, here it is, Dan. Yeah. It's getting real wore down. It says Jeremy right there, and there's a Cool Coyote picture. You can just barely see it.
Yep, there it is. Had a bottle of water to pour on there, it might show up better.
Yeah.
Man, they threw a bitch fit over that.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it though. It's been there all this time. Got over 40 years.
Kind of like Stonehenge. Crazy, dude. The old bridge that was here, I remember it was a trestle bridge, and we'd ride our dirt bikes down the planks in the center of it.
And it had a turn in it.
Had a turn in it. We'd try to make wheels on the board.
Yeah.
And then remember when we found that cash register under the bridge?
Wow, I do now that you mention it.
Old cash register somebody must have stole.
Yeah,
in a robbery and threw it under the bridge. We found that. And we used to play down there. Yeah. I guess a lot of water under the bridge since then, huh?
My kids tried to get me to go kayaking one day last week with them, and they had a kayak lined up I could borrow. I mean, even if you go on one of the short runs, you know, like from here to London Mills, it's like still 4 hours, you know.
One year, I put in up at Wolf Covered Bridge and went to London Mills.
Oh my
in a
God.
canoe. That took 2 days.
Yeah.
Night.
It's about 7 hours from McQuan River bottom to here.
Mm-hmm. But it was a long trip, but it was fun. I mean, I'd like to do it again.
Mm-hmm. What'd you do, camp then?
Yeah, I just camped on a sandbar about midway. And then the next morning took off, and Sammy, before I even had a cell phone, Sammy had a rough idea what time I was supposed to show up in London Mills, and she was waiting there with the truck to load up. And then your uncle, you guys farmed back down here. Didn't you go down this drive to get to it on this side?
We didn't farm down this far. It was at the crest of the top of the next hill was where our land ended.
Had a lot down, you guys were right down on the river too over that way, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I remember we went coon hunting there when I was a kid. Doc took us.
Yeah, had all the nice camp spots on the river. I miss all of that.
Yeah, we'd put the boat in here
Mm-hmm.
a few times, and didn't Doc kind of keep it tied up here through the summer a lot?
Sometimes I think, or down on the bottom, in the field bottom down there at the farm. We used to bank pull that a lot.
You'll have to tell your viewers, we used to ride this all the time, and it was dirt.
Yeah.
Before they made it into a blacktop.
Yeah, they blacktopped it after I moved out of here. And them last few years I lived here, I was riding that BSA chopper.
Mm-hmm. Out on the gravel.
On the gravel, yeah. I never laid it down, though. I was usually drunk.
I think we used to ride every day.
Yeah, we did.
We were kids. Back roads in McQuan and go to Middle Grove, out to the strip mine ground and ride out there.
I think riding in Middle Grove one day is probably the closest I ever come to wrecking a motorcycle bad. I had a deer jump out right in front of me. I was on that Honda 125. Mm-hmm. I was probably doing 60 down that blacktop on your way to Middle Grove. Had nowhere to get a pack of cigarettes out of that machine, probably about 14 years old, And a deer jumped out, and it was so close to me, I swear his hoofs clipped off my plastic fender.
That.
Yeah.
And then remember when I hit that dog?
Yeah.
When I was about 13 or so.
Didn't you have to go to hospital over that?
I should have went to the hospital, but I didn't. It took me a month to heal up. Killed the dog.
I mean, when that deer jumped in front of me, it was like right here, But I was like a second behind hitting it,
The biggest thing I can remember about hitting that dog was flipped it over, and I went over the handlebars, and I just remember thinking, how far am I going to slide down this damn road? It just seemed like forever. I was just like body surfing down the down the road. It was amazing how far I went.
I do remember one time when I was on that Yamaha 100, I met Weldon McQuims right on the corner, and he had that little Massey Ferguson tractor, mm-hmm. and he was pulling 2 hay racks, and when he came around that corner, it took the whole road. And I did lay that one over. Slid on my elbows for a while.
And your mini bike caught on fire and burned up in front of Weldon's house.
Yeah, it did. That. I don't know what happened there.
Hard to say.
I just looked down between my legs, and that whole thing was just flaming up bad. And I just bailed off of it. And it melted right in the middle of the road so bad that the carburetor was just a molten ball of aluminum. Burnt the tires off of it. That was a hell of a fire.
That metal's hot. Yeah. Spent a lot of time doing all this stuff, I guess. Sure we still are.
It's still plenty hot out here today.
Mm-hmm. Not as bad as it was.
No.
I remember Troy was doing wheelies up and down that road on that Kawasaki F11.
Yeah.
That he had.
I loved that bike.
He did too. That was kind of a rare. It was an F11 MX. It was a motocross.
I seen a picture of one on the internet. I guess those are really rare.
They are.
I was reading an article about it. Speaking of Troy's, I saw Troy Jones go by the house. I was out weed eating, and he went by on that old Triumph chopper. I think it was Sunday. And it was cutting out on one cylinder. It was trying to pick it up, but it was had a half dead cylinder on it.
And maybe he needs to file his points a little or something.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that bike in a long time. That was Troy out there at Pat's when we went by.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be cool to get him to go for a ride with us on that.
It would. You got to talk to him about that.
See all them old vintage bikes going down the road.
Yeah, mine hasn't fell apart yet.
Yeah.
Got my rocker caps on, so keeping more oil in, I guess.
When you said you was coming over, I figured you'd be on the 69.
No, I thought I'd try this one today. I rode this one to church yesterday too.
Yeah.
And back. The 69, it's ready to go too, I guess. I got a few things done on it. It's faster than this one. I don't know why, but it is.
Hard to say.
Or it feels faster anyway.
Now this one's apparently still sumped a little bit, or just over full maybe.
Probably over full.
Yeah.
I know these got a vent pipe out the fender here. Here it is. And if I overfill them, it'll spit it out till it's done.
It's not running bad though.
No, this one's running pretty good. I think the battery in it might be getting shot. I got a new one for it and I'll put it in. This one's the wrong size battery that's in it.
Yeah.
I think it vibrates around and goes dead. Greasy rag gang now.
Well, you want to keep moving?
Yeah.
I'm getting hot.
Yeah, get a little breeze on it. If I can start.
Oh. I've had a headband on so tight it's giving me a headache.
Yeah, kind of like a welding helmet when you get them too tight.
Oh, that was a good ride.
Yeah, it was. We need to do that quite a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next time I'll take the other one.
I'd like to take the BSA in a few weeks if I
Yeah,
could get a few more parts for it.
Yeah, get that thing going. Wake the town up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't think I lost any more parts.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, made it back.
I think the only thing I lost was a little oil, but I probably needed to.
You know, in either one, as much as they come loose and rattle and everything, I've never ever had to walk because of that thing. It always
Yeah.
gets me back home, as a rule.
Well, I'm going to turn this off for now. I hope all this footage comes out. I've never used this thing before. I noticed too, while editing this video, when I'm down on the bridge, it sounds like I'm breathing really hard. I didn't notice that I was, but then I got to thinking, I've got that GoPro camera mounted right here. I had my hat on backwards. I had it mounted right here, and the microphones are right there, and my nose is right here, right in the middle. And I think those microphones were just picking up nose noises. So anyway, I'm gonna have to watch that. I think maybe just don't breathe while I'm talking in the videos. Anyway, there's a couple more guys around here that might have vintage bikes. We're gonna maybe see if they want to ride along sometime. And I don't know, it's just fun riding these old bikes around, you know. I have not much interest in newer motorcycles or bigger motorcycles for that matter. But Dan and I have logged in thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours on dirt bikes and vintage motorcycles. And it's what we like to do. And we've done it our whole lives since we were little guys, and we'll probably keep doing it forever until we're too old to do it anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I think that's going to do it for this video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all those things, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later. Jeremy.